And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ford Open here on the Sports Time Machine as we bring you bowling from the Alameda Coliseum, the Alameda Bowl in Alameda, California, where today will be the latter finals of the Ford Open. We're going to be using the computer version of the PC game. Hello, Ben. How are you? Welcome in. J Day. Hey, Day. How you doing? Welcome in. We're going to roll the PC out. It's a lot easier to see, a lot easier to play. I went ahead and do draws of all the guys that are available in the 1978 set, and then did the top five for what will be in my ladder finals. So we're going to have some history here because usually my name is Chris Schenkel. I'm usually joined by my partner Nelson Bo Burton Jr., but Mr. Bo Burton is busy this afternoon. He's in the top story today. He bowled a 290 in the preliminary round, so he is our number one seed today. So Bo will not be joining me for commentary today. I will be doing this alone, and he would probably have some kind of co-host with him. I'm not sure who it would be, but we do got some other intriguing stories. So we're going to have so far Wayne Webb, who bowled last, end up bowling a 247, and he'll take on Louis Moore. The winner of that matchup will take on Tommy Hudson. Now, Louis Moore bowled a 266. Tommy Hudson also bowled a 266. Tommy Hudson got the advantage of being in the 3 spot today because he was number 5 in the top 50 in the cards. The winner of the match between Webb and Moore versus Hudson will take on another great storyline. Mr. Dick Weber. Does he have one more championship in his arsenal? He bowled a 268 in the preliminary round, so he is the second seed. And of course, our friend Nelson Bo Burton Jr. will be the top seed and will wait the winner. So Bo, good luck on that today. So will we see a championship champion by our distinct colleague, or will Mr. Dick Weber have one more rodeo in his blood? We'll start first in the lanes with Wayne Webb and Louis Moore. So let's go ahead and get to the lanes. All right, let's do this. So Webb and Moore. Webb will go first. I'm making sure I have it set up the way I want. Make sure we're not on autoplay. That's kind of what I was playing the first one. So we are. So Webb starts first. He's on the left lane, and he does strike. So let's get the dice. Let's see if the dice are available. Give me 1 second. Dice. Oh, silent. Let's do visible. So there's the 3 dice that we'll be using. Hope everyone can hear me. Everything's going well out there. So let's go ahead and go to Louis Moore's first opportunity. So Moore waits on the right-hand side lane. Webb already with a strike to start it off. Here comes the shot for Moore. And he gets a 10, and that's a strike. Remember, anything above 10 to 16 is a strike. So 10 to 15, I believe it is. It's 10 to 15 is a strike. So remember that when you look at the dice. So both Webb and Moore start off with a strike. Let's now go to Louis Moore. He'll be on the opposite lane, and he gets only a 7 and picks up the spare. So not a good second frame for Moore. As Wayne Webb will now go on to the opposite lane where he was just at. His opportunity is going to be a 9, so he gets the spare on that. So basically, we have a fleet tie here in the 3rd frame. Wayne Webb will now be shooting from his left spot where he had a strike on the first time. Here's the spot for him. Again, he has a 9, so Wayne Webb unable to get the jitters going here, a pair of 9s. And now we go to Louis Moore. Louis Moore is on the same lane where he bowled a strike in the very first one. His opportunity, he gets an 8 and leaves one because he went to the OTP chart, which is the rare play chart, and that only got you 9. So an open frame for Louis, and that could be disastrous. So Louis Moore will now bowl in where he's on the even lane, so he bowled a 7 and a spare so far today. His next opportunity, he looks in, and here's the shot for Louis, and this time he gets the strike. He needed that one after the open. Wayne Webb will now come in. He again is in the even frames. He bowled a 9 and a spare his last time out. He looks, he takes a shot, and it's good for a strike. So a big strike for Wayne Webb. He's taken a so far a pretty good lead, a 12-pin lead so far for Wayne Webb, and he's also working on the strike so far today. Let's make sure we're still showing so far here. I want to get in there. Ooh, nice showing of people so far for a Saturday afternoon PBA event. Please come in, please subscribe. I appreciate everyone coming in so far. So now we'll go to the 5th frame. Again, it'll be Wayne Webb. He has already striked twice. He's spared twice. He's on the alley where he's bowled a strike and a spare. Here's his first opportunity in the 5th, and that's going to only be a 7. So Webb needed that one, and he'll get the spare, but he's not happy about it. That leaves an opportunity for Louis Moore to get involved. Louis Moore has struck, and he has also left an open frame on this one, so his numbers has not been as good. Here's a shot for Louis Moore, and it's good. So he gets the strike. He is now with a 2-bagger through the 5th frame, so that'll give him the advantage on the even frames where he's gotten a spare and a strike so far. He has the opportunity now with the lead to build the lead with the strike. Here's the opportunity for Louis Moore, and this time he really doesn't bowl. He hits on the Brooklyn side, leaves the 6-8-9, and then he picks up the spare. So Louis Moore needs to pick up his game a bit if he wants to challenge with Wayne Webb here. Wayne Webb now working on a spare with his 5th frame. He's on the even where he has spare and struck so far. Here's a shot for him, and that's going to be no, he gets the 9. He leaves a hanging 10, picks up the spare, and so far Wayne Webb with a 4-pin lead heading into the 7th frame. You know, Cutter, it's a very difficult game. It's okay. Look up in the pocket bowling, and then look up Mark Miller PC. That's the only thing I can tell you. Again, he may have pulled this game out, and I may still have a lingering copy of it. If I can send it, I would. I'm not sure how I would do that files-wise, or maybe I can work something out with a Dropbox if you understand what that is. But, well, Cutter, thank you for subscribing. I saw you did earlier this week. This is the 7th frame. So far, Webb with a 4-pin lead. So far, Webb on the odd lane has struck, spared, and spared. He needs this one. He's only up 2. Here's the shot, and that will leave him 8. So Wayne Webb is not looking strong. He'll pick the spare up, and leaving Louis Moore now with an opportunity. They want to bowl better than this. Again, the winner will face Tommy Hudson in the next round of this ladder format. So Moore steps up. Moore, so far for Moore, he has struck, open, and strike. So he's had 2 strikes on this frame, on this alley. On this lane. He has been very good on this one. Here's the shot, and he gets the 8, and he leaves one. So he wonders how that works. So Louis Moore, his 2nd open frame of the day, and that's almost a killer for him. Moore will now get the first opportunity in the 8th frame, and he is already trailing down by the spare that Wayne Webb will be working on. So again, both bowlers trying to feel each other out, or having a problem with the oil pattern. Moore will look in. Moore with the shot. He needs this one, and he gets the strike. He had to have that one, like I said before. That is shockingly, his 4th strike of the day, but he's had 2 open frames. Wayne Webb comes up. He's in the Hall of Fame. Really became a real significant member on the tour in his senior life. 8th frame, he continues. He needs this one. He steps up. So far on this alley, he has spared, struck, and spared. So he's had good numbers. Here's his first shot, and he gets it on a strike. So that's a huge strike. So right now, Wayne Webb with a 15-pin lead, both working on strikes, heading into the 9th frame. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and try that, Roots. An excellent game. But you can really then play, if you play cards and dice at all, plays really well, cards and dice. I love it. Just has a better value for me for people to see, so that's why I'm playing the PC part of it. Let's go to the ninth. It's going to be Louis Moore. He needs to keep striking to stay close. Moore on his ninth frame looks in, and here is the shot. It's going to be only a 7, and again he left a 7 and clipped 2. That is his 4th open frame of the day. You can't win championships by having open frames. So now Wayne Webb, who can really start putting this one away with a good shot, he looks in, takes the shot, and he misses himself. He leaves the Brooklyn 9, picks it up, and he gets the 9 and a spare. Wayne Webb will finish last. Always the guy that's ahead, in my opinion, will finish last in case he needs to win. So Louis Moore will go first. He can shoot a max 179. So far, Wayne Webb could basically shut him out with getting anything on the 10th frame. So Louis Moore will need an absolute miracle, which I'm not sure is even possible. You can bowl gutter balls in this, but it's not easy. Moore's first opportunity. He's going to have to strike out to have a chance. Here's his first chance, and he gets it. So a big strike for Louis Moore. He's at 159. Let's see if Moore can put some pressure on Webb. Here's his second shot, and he gets it. 2 strikes in a row. Little too late for Louis. He's at 169. His third shot, ooh, he leaves that one. He's at a 178. So he gets a 9. So now here we go. For Wayne Webb to advance, he needs to get a strike and about 4 pins. The important thing is he needs a strike here. If he doesn't, we could have an interesting finish. Webb steps up. He's had a spare, a strike, a spare, and a strike. He's had control of this lane so far in the oil pattern. Here's the shot, and he doesn't. Oh, but he still wins it though. He gets a 9 and a spare. He leaves him at 185. So Wayne Webb will get the bat on the back by Louis Moore, and this one's over. He'll finish up and gets the 195. So Wayne Webb will move on to the next round. Takes out Louis Moore, 195 to 178. Want to thank so far everyone in here. Want to thank everyone so far for being here. Please like, please subscribe. I haven't had this kind of people come and see a broadcast in a while. I thank everyone for being there, being a part of it. I try to do the bowling as much as I can. Has a significant meaning to me sometimes. If you talk to me, so. We're now go to the next round. It will bring in Tommy Hudson. So Wayne Webb and Tommy Hudson will come on out. So here we go. So Wayne Webb will be moving this. Tommy Hudson is right there. So this is going to be Webb and Tommy Hudson. So Hudson on the season that year bowled a 214 average. Webb was at a 214.47. So both were very close. Webb, again, the lower seed, will go first. Winner will face Dick Weber, trying to see if he has one more rodeo in him. So here we go. Webb against Hudson. We go on to our next matchup. So Webb comes out ready to take his first opportunity. Here it is, and he gets a strike. Big opportunity for Wayne Webb. He gets a big strike to get going. Let's see. All right, good. Thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit over there. So now here's Tommy Hudson. He'll see if he needs to keep the pressure on. Here's his first opportunity, and he does. So both strike right off the bat. It's a strike apiece. So now here's Tommy Hudson. He'll go first on the other lane. Both working on strikes. Here's the second opportunity for Hudson. He just barely clips the 9 on a Brooklyn. So Hudson with 2 in a row. Sometimes you have to be lucky and good. So now here's Wayne Webb. Webb bowling on the opposite lane. He'll need a strike to stay even with Hudson. Here's the shot, and he does. So he gets the back-to-back strikes. Back-to-back, belly-to-belly, as they say. So Webb and Hudson, both 2 strikes apiece. So now Webb will bowl into the third frame. He bowled a strike on the first earlier, so he definitely has had so far the oil pattern a little bit easier to read. Here's a shot for, oh, just as I said that, he clips it, leaves 7, and then picks up the spare. So Webb not happy about that one as Tommy Hudson comes up with a chance to take the lead. Hudson ready to go, a right-hander, and here's his swing. And it's a good one. It's a 3-bagger. It's a gobble-gobble. It's a turkey for Tommy Hudson. So he has a 3-pin lead, working on a strike while Webb is working on the spare. Webb comes up, bowled a strike in lane 2 earlier, frame 2 earlier. Here's this opportunity, and again, Wayne Webb gets 8 and has to pick up the spare. Again, struggling, there was a way. I wish there was a way to get a certain card. You can, there's somewhere in the directory where you just add images, and it will automatically populate them inside the game, so it does work. But if I don't have an image, I probably haven't found one, but you can put images in there for your bowlers. So Tommy Hudson now into the 4th. Hudson has struck out so far, working on a 3-bagger. He looks, again, he's working as a right-hander on that right side lane. Here we go, and he does a strike. So Tommy Hudson with 4 in a row. Webb working on 2 spares, so Hudson really is taking advantage here. So we now go back to Wayne Webb here. Webb on the odd lane has struck out and spared. He needs to have this strike to stay close, and he does. Oh, gets the spare. The 2 6s means he has to go back 1 frame to read his results. That was the 8 and the spare, so he has to mimic those exact same results. So an 8 and a spare for Wayne Webb. Tommy Hudson working on 4 in a row. Looks like an easy peasy game for Hudson as Wayne Webb. It's tough to bowl in the ladder. You have to bowl almost perfect from the back end. Hudson taking advantage here. Here's Hudson's shot working on a 4-bagger, and he gets the 5-bagger. So Tommy Hudson 5 in a row. And Hudson will now bowl first in the even lanes. Of course, he has struck in the 2nd and the 4th. He looks for 6 in a row. Fans start to be quiet a little bit here. We could have something special going on. And he gets it. Oh, he does. He gets it by an inch as he glides the pin over. Hudson with the fist. He knows he got a little bit lucky there. Got it on the Brooklyn side, but he got some carry. So now Wayne Webb now will bowl in the 6th. He's just looking on knowing he's toast at this point. So Webb in the 6th needs to stay close. Webb has struck and he's had a spare. Here's Wayne's shot, and Wayne will strike. He needed to have that one to stay close. So now Webb will open up the 7th frame. Little history working here as Tommy Hudson sits and contemplates his next shot. Webb looks in. Webb on the odd so far has struck, spared, and spared. So he's been effective. Here's his shot, and he doesn't. He leaves the 9 and the spare. That was he went right on the right side, and you knew it wasn't going to have any carry. He left that 10, and Webb will pick up the spare. And now we go back to Tommy Hudson working on 6 in a row. So Hudson goes in, looking for his second, he's already had his 2nd turkey. So he's working toward his 3rd set of turkeys. So Hudson again, right-hander, he's working on the odd lanes. Here we go, the shot is good, and he gets his next strike. That is 7 in a row for Tommy Hudson. So Hudson with 7 in a row. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, folks. We have a perfect game, which I probably just jinxed Tommy Hudson, working in this one. We go to the 8th frame, and the 8th frame will go to Tommy Hudson, so he'll be the first to come out. On the even frames, he has struck on the 2nd, 4th, and 6th. Right-hander looks in, takes the shot. No! He gets 9 and a spare. And Hudson knew it. He knew when he threw it. He was looking to get some glide, but the pin just didn't carry over. And Hudson's day is over. But he looks to automatically get on. He'll face Dick Weber in the next round. There doesn't seem a foreseeable chance that Wayne Webb will come back in this one. Here's Webb's shot in the 8th frame. Here's the shot, and again, a 9 and a spare. So Wayne Webb, you can tell his second game here not as strong as we move to the 9th one. It has a lot of stuff. It has the PBA Top 50. It has years going back, way back. Exactly, it does. It has unbelievable amount of sets. I'm born in '68. This would have put me 10 years old. It would put me right around the same time my grandfather used to stay with us, with Grandma, and he would have the TV set every 2 o'clock in the afternoon watching ABC bowling. I mean, that was his thing to do, and something you got, when he was over, that was something we did. Even if we went over to visit, he would still probably go and watch bowling when it came on. So, and they only had 1 or 2 channels where they're from. So again, so it was a, this was when I was 10 years old. This is why I'm picking the '78 season to do. Again, it was when I was a young lad, as they say. So now we go back to the 9th frame. The 9th frame will belong, whoever it belongs to. Webb will finish it. Webb will finish this off anyway. He'll finish the 9th and he'll finish the 10th. So Webb's 9th shot will be only a 6. Geez, he left an open frame, and that will almost kill him for the day. He's at 168. So Tommy Hudson has automatically advanced to face Dick Weber in the semifinals. So Hudson will come out working on a spare in the 8th. Here's his shot, and he gets it to strike. So he's still at 219. So here we go. Webb will finish. He's at 168. The one who's trailing always goes first in the 10th. His first shot in the 10th is only 8 and a spare. Webb has been a master of his own spares today. This is his 6th spare he's had. Here's his next shot, and it's going to go back, and again he'll leave only 8. So Wayne Webb sits with a 186, and now Tommy Hudson gets a chance to potentially finish with a 279. So let's see what Tommy does. Still significant. So Hudson will go. Here's his shot, and he gets a strike. So again, that's a big strike for Hudson. He's going to try one more. Can he get it? Here's the shot, and he does. So he does get his 269. We'll see if he strikes to finish him off at 279, and no, he doesn't, only get 7. So he finishes at 276, so with the win, Tommy Hudson will go on to face Dick Weber in the semifinals with a score 276 to 186. Again, want to thank everyone who has tuned in so far to this Pro Bowlers Tour broadcast. This is the Ford Open. We did do a cards and dice version of the very first tournament I did, but we're probably going to do these on computer from now on because of the way it plays. So here we go. So let's go ahead and get to the next matchup as we go to commercial. Again, I'm not joined by Bo Burton today, as he is waiting to face the winner of this game in the championship match. Bo Burton in the preliminary round bowled a 290 and is the number 1 seed. So Tommy Hudson will come out first. He is basically the challenger, and he'll take on a classic veteran by the name of Dick Weber. Of course, for those who love bowling, you know he is the father of the very precarious Peter Weber, who is a dynamite personality in the game of bowling. Dick Weber, a right-hander, a veteran, bowled a 210.29. That was his average during the regular season. Of course, Tommy Hudson's at 214. So it's Hudson, it's versus Weber. The winner will take on, again, Nelson Bo Burton Jr. So let's go. Let's go to the matchup. Tommy Hudson's first. They shake hands, and we're underway. Hudson takes the first opportunity, ready to shoot, and a 9. Hudson wants that one to drop, doesn't get carry, and he starts with a spare. So not a good start for Tommy. And now here's our second-seeded Dick Weber. So Weber comes in a right-hander. Fans still acknowledge him. Again, we're asking, does Dick Weber have one more rodeo in him? Here is a shot for Dick, and he only gets the 8. So not a good start for Dick. Picks up the spare, and we're tied at 1. So Weber will now take the even frames. He's now bowling first. He looks in. He takes a shot, the right-hander. He gets lucky. He caught a break with a 2-2-1. That gave him 9 and a spare. Boy, lucky he didn't get the 5. Lucky he didn't get the 5 and the spare. He didn't get the 5 and the spare. Let's look at his card. 2-1-1. Let's see what 2-1-1. Let's see what 2-2-1. Sorry. Let's see what 2-2-1 brings you. I want to look at the chart real quick. Oh, the 5 brings you to the OOTP chart. So he's able to get the 9, and he bowled the 6 on the rare play chart to get the spare. So a lucky opportunity there for Dick. So now we go to Tommy Hudson, his second shot. Hudson waits on the right-hand side lane and shoots. And he only gets 7. So Tommy Hudson having a problem today reading the lanes on this side. He's 7 and he gets the spare. We now go to the third frame. And Tommy Hudson will start, both working on spares. Weber with a 2-pin lead. Hudson goes on his first frame and gets the strike. Hudson needed that one. Gets to bump off the jitters a little bit. Now Dick Weber comes up. He needs to follow suit and get the strike. You don't have to tell him twice. He's probably been scoring bowling since he was a little lad. Here's a strike by Weber. Oh, a 9, and doesn't get the carry. And he'll have to pick up the spare. And again, Tommy Hudson will have that lead going to the fourth frame. So now Dick Weber on his fourth opportunity, on his fourth frame. He had a 9 as spare his first time. Here's his shot. And again, he gets a 7. Ooh, not a good spin. Picks up the 1-2-6. And that will be the spare for Weber. Meaning Tommy Hudson has a big opportunity to get a bigger lead here. So Hudson now. He looks from the second lane. He spared it before. Here's the shot. And he gets 9 in a spare. So Hudson with a 2-pin lead. Both working on spares through 4. And now Tommy Hudson will be the first to bowl on the 5th. He has struck and spared on this lane. Right-hander. He wants to get the same output he did on the third one. Here's the shot. Oh, no, a 7 again. Not a good shot for Hudson. And he'll pick up the spare. And boy, he walks back muttering words. The oil pattern must be tremendous out there. Weber and Hudson unable to really read him that well. Especially Dick Weber's been around him all his life. So now Weber looks at it a little closer, grabs another ball. We don't have the type of balls here. We're not that type of channel. Weber can't stand up. Not as much as they have now these days, put it that way. Weber looks. He ready, comes down with a shot, and there it is. Oh, no. He gets the double 6s like we said before. The double 6s means he gets to repeat his last shot. So he repeats his fourth frame. So he gets the 7 and a spare like he did in the fourth. So now we move to the 6th frame. A dead even matchup. Hudson by 2 in the 6th. I can try to explain the rules as I know them if people want to know. So please go ahead. 6th frame, and yes, if you get the computer game, if you have a good enough printer, let's say Ben or something like that, you can bowl. You can pull the cards from the directory and actually bowl the cards and dice. That's what I did. So now we go to the 6th frame here. Now we go the Weber. Here we go. And he gets a strike. So a big strike for Dick Weber. So Weber with the big strike there. Now Hudson knows he needs them play match right now. So Hudson in the 6th looks on. Gets the opportunity. Here we go. And he goes back. Now again, this is another rule. As you see, the 4, the 5, and the 5. Okay, they're just appearing on my game board. 4, a 5, and a 5 means you go on 2 5s. You go back 2 frames. 1, 2. That's 9 and a spare. 2 6s. You go back 1. 2 5s. You go back 2. It's your ability to read lanes that Mark Miller did. So now we go to the 7th frame again. Weber with the lead, working on a strike in the 7th. Hudson will bowl first. He always starts. So now he needs to get this strike. Now he needs to stay even with Weber. Here's a shot. Oh, he goes back 1, which is a spare. The 2 sixes don't do him any favors. And he'll go back and get another 9 and a spare. So Tommy Hudson missing opportunities to stay close. Now Dick Weber can work on the strike advantage in the 6th. Weber comes up from the odd lane that he's on. He so far has spared, and spared. He has not struck on this lane yet. Here's his shot, and he does. Yes, he does. He just gets to the fall. So Dick Weber, 2 in a row, and that could be a huge opportunity. Weber will now bowl first in the 8th. It looks like Dick Weber may get one last chance at his rodeo and battle for the Ford Open against our very own Nelson Burton Jr. So Weber will now go working on a 2-bagger. Here is the shot, and it's going to be a strike. 3 in a row for Dick Weber, and Tommy Hudson knows he is going to have to do some major coming back now. So Hudson in the 8th knows he doesn't strike here. He might as well throw the towel in. He's going to have it to stay in. Here's the shot, and does. So he gets the strike. So he'll be working on a strike in the 9th. He's going to need to strike out and hope for Weber collapses in one of these frames. Weber in his 9th frame. He's working on the odds. He is spared, struck, spared, and spared. So he hasn't read this lane that well. Here's his shot coming down, and no, and that should probably do it. Leaves a 6-10. He'll pick it up, and that will probably do it for him. Weber working on 3 in a row probably just gave Dick Weber the game here. Weber in the 9th has been effective. He's spared. So he's only struck once on the odd lane. So here's the opportunity, working on 3 in a row, and he doesn't again, a 7 and a spare. So that may have given a little glimpse of an opportunity for Tommy Hudson here. So if Hudson strikes out, he will be at 202. So Hudson striking out here would mean Dick Weber would have some work to do. So it's not over yet. So a spare in the 9th frame has opened at least a small glimpse of a door for Tommy Hudson. So Hudson now comes in. He has to strike out. He has to strike here or the game is over, no matter what. So he has to have it. His first opportunity in the 10th. He doesn't, because the 2 sixes forces him back 1 frame. And he gets the 8 and the spare, so that should do it. Dick Weber will at least have to mark the win, but let's see. Let's see if Hudson finishes with a strike, and he doesn't. He does. So he gets a strike on the final ball, so he's at a 190. 2-1-1 for Tommy Hudson. Gets him the strike. Let's look at Tommy Hudson's actual card. A 2-1-1 is a strike if you look at his card. Okay. So he gets the strike on that one. So now the question is, he would really almost, if he spares here, you have to be, if he has to roll a 5, if he rolls a 5 here and gets on the OOTP card and he misses and opens, Hudson will win. If he spares here, he'll win. So most likely he has to mark to win. So Weber comes in, readies to go, looking to put away Tommy Hudson. He did, but he gets the 9 and a spare in it, so he'll win this. He got lucky. He bowled on the OOTP card, and because it usually gives you the roll 1 to 5, it's open, roll a 6, and you spare it. So he had a 1 in 6 opportunity to miss it, rolled the 6 and spared it. So he gets lucky there. So Dick Weber smiles a bit at Tommy Hudson, and he'll finish it off right now with only a 7. So he'll just barely put away Tommy Hudson, 205 to 190. So the dream matchup is here. Our partner, our friend, our colleague, Nelson Bo Burton Jr., number 1 seed, will take on longtime veteran Dick Weber for the finals here at the Ford Open as we play for pay. Let's go. Finals here in the ladder. So now it's going to be Dick Weber. He's the lower seed, so he'll bowl first. He finishes practice opportunities, and Weber will come in. And now here comes our partner, our friend Nelson Bo Burton Jr. So let's look at the statistics. Dick Weber comes in at 210.29. Bo Burton 212.119. So Burton only a little bit better. So folks, we're at our finals. Now what I like to say again, please, if you're in here, please like, please subscribe if you haven't, and let's go and let's finish this off. So let's go ahead and let's go and finish this off. Please, if you haven't liked, I appreciate it. Love everyone in here today. 10 strong watching even from the outside in the upper deck. I got people down below in the concourse chatting. Thank you, Ben, for being here. Cutter Historical. Everyone else, J.A. Heyday in, and everyone else. So thank you for all for being here, part of the action. So Dick Weber is first. Again, this is the championship round. Here's Weber's first opportunity, and here we go. 9 and a gutter ball. So a channel for Dick Weber. Oh, smokies, that is not what Dick Weber wanted. That will leave him a channel, and that will open up Nelson Burton Jr., known Bo to us friends. So Bo will come on out. Can't believe Dick Weber just channeled one to open up a 9 and an open in the very first frame. So Bo starts. His first shot is a strike, and he continues what he did in the very first preliminary game. So Bo Burton a strike ahead, and Weber is on an empty. Not what you wanted. So Burton now will bowl in the second frame. Does he win a championship in the Ford Open? Here it is, and he does. And he also earns that exempt too into the next season. So Burton back-to-back strikes, and he has Dick Weber ready like a boxer. He has him on the ropes. So now Weber comes in. He needs a strike here if he wants to stay close. Here's Dick's second shot, and he does get the strike. So the veteran Dick Weber gets a strike, continues forward, as they say. Bo Burton with a pair. So now Dick will start in the third. This is where he had the trouble in the very first frame with a channel ball on his second shot. Here's Burton on the shot, and he gets a strike. So back-to-back for Dick Weber, putting the pressure on Bo. Bo will now bowl in our third frame. He's already been good so far. He's bowled a double back-to-back strikes. Burton on the third. Here we go. And no, a 7, and he missed it. He did leave an open frame. So that puts a lot of pressure on Bo. Boy, he needed that one. Bo will now start in the fourth frame, and oh, he looks over at me, he puts his hands in the air like, what happened? And oh, he comes over to me, wants to see the replay, pats me on the back, and goes back to the game. I've never seen a bowler come to the announcers and look at his own replay. But Bo goes back, still kind of smiling. This is kind of house money for him. He has had a tough season, but this will make up for it. He'll have second place prize money no matter what. So Bo Burton in his fourth frame of action. Here we go. And this time again, a 9 and a spare for Bo. So again, Bo having his issues now. And now Dick Weber working on 2 strikes. The veteran looking to lock in the vice grip here if he bowls 3 in a row after a tough start with the 9 and open in the first. Here's the opportunity for Weber. The shot is good. He just barely gets it with the 10, and he has the turkey ball. So Dick turkeys it out, and now technically he was down 7 pins through 2, but Weber is on 3 strikes, and Bo is on a spare. So now Weber with his first shot in the fifth frame, working on 3 in a row. Here is his shot, and he gets a strike. 4 in a row for Dick Weber as he's moving closer from being, like I said, when I bowled him and bowled high in the preliminary round, this was going to be the storyline we talk about in Cards and Dice. Does Dick Weber have one last rodeo in him to come out and win a championship here on live TV? And the answer looks to be yes. Let's see if Bo can now not crumble under the pressure here. In the fifth frame, working on a spare. Here's a shot. Gets the strike. He needed that one. He needs that one to stay close. Now we go into the sixth frame. Burton working off a strike. He needs a double 6 here will be an automatic strike. A double 5 only gets him to 9. So he wants to stay away from the double 5s here. Here's Burton ready to go. Oh, he gets only the 7, and that will drop it on the spare, and Bo has to have cleaner opportunities. So now Weber working on 4 in a row here in the sixth. He can really put a really tight vice grip on Bo right now with the strike here. Here's Weber, right-hand side frame. Oh, gets them all, and he leaves it. He goes to the OTP rare play chart, and this time doesn't get the roll. So he leaves an open frame, his second, and it gives Bo Burton a chance. So now Dick Weber will go into the 7th frame here. Holy smokes. So here we go, folks. So Weber in the 7th frame will start it off working on another empty. So here we go. Here's his shot, and he gets a strike barely. Oh, he needed some carry effect to get anything over a 15 means you have to usually roll somewhere else. So he gets a 6 and a 5 to 4. That's the highest combination you can get to basically get a strike. So now Nelson Bo Burton Jr. needs to have a strike to keep in this contest. A strike will put him within 10. Here's his shot. And he goes back. Yes. Oh, he goes back 1. He gets the strike. Actually, the 2 5s there when it comes up. Did it come up yet? So I can explain it. So the 2 5s come up. He can go back to the 5th frame, and that was a strike. So that's what he gets credit for. So both are working on strikes. Weber with a 10-pin lead here at the 8th, and it's Bo will start it off. We're going to a fantastic finish here in Alameda, California at the Ford Open. Bo waits and shoots, and he gets a strike on the 8th, so he's on a 2-bagger. So Bo with an opportunity. Now Dick Weber's going to have to strike to stay close. This is going down to the finish, folks. Weber now, so far in this even frames, has struck and left the open in the 6th. He doesn't want to bowl a double 5 here. Double 5 would leave him another empty frame. So that is taboo for him. A double 6 will get him a strike. Anything between 10 and 15 gets him a strike. So here is Weber's opportunity, and it's a strike. He got the 10, so he gets a strike. So both Weber and Bo Burton are working on 2-baggers. Holy cow. So now we go to the 9th frame. And yeah, unfortunately for Dick Weber, he'll start the 9th and probably start the 10th, forcing Bo to finish. So now Weber comes in his 9th frame opportunity. He has to have this to keep even. Oh, he doesn't. It's a 7, and he goes and leaves it empty again. Holy cow, he looked for the 2-6-8. It clipped the 2-6, and the 8 just stood there like it was stuck to the ground. So Bo Burton now knows he has a tremendous opportunity if he can get one here. Now, if he leaves an empty frame, we have a possible problem. So let's see, what will Bo Burton do in his 9th frame? Here's his shot from this lane to keep the suspense. Strike, spare, strike, strike. So he's been very, very good on this frame, on this lane. Here's his shot. And he leaves a 9. So that will make it interesting. So a 9 and a spare, so we still got the end here. we go to our 10th and final frame, and Dick Weber will go first because he's technically going to be trailing. He could finish at 210. And let's see, that's 1-8, and Bo Burton can finish at 214. So this is coming literally down to the final ball. Again, if you remember what I said, Dick Weber comes in with a 210 average. That's what Dick Weber can finish at. And Bo Burton's at a 212. He can finish at 214. So basically going down to the cards and dice here. So now Weber has to strike out. If he wants to keep Bo on edge, he has to strike out and force Bo to do the same. So Weber goes. Here's his first shot in the 10th. And it's, he goes back one frame, which is the empty. And Weber knows it, and he's done. So Bo Burton may cash in and win the top check at the Ford Open. And Bo Burton's hands is in his face. And he'll have one final shot here. He can finish at 199, and then we'll have to do some math. I mean, Bo can easily do the same thing, and we can have problems. But let's see what he does first. Here's the shot. And no, he does not get it. The open frame stops him completely. So he will finish at 189. Does not get the bonus ball, as Ben Witt says. So 189. So yeah, I mean, it's basically over. It's a strike, and 5 pins will win him the championship. Again, he can roll the dink ball in the drink, possibly on the OTP card. But if he bowls, let's say 183, if he bowls 119, 192, he wins it. You know what? It's over. It's over anyway. 15 is 179, 189. Yeah, anything over 5 or more, Bo will win this one. So let's see. Bo should win this. He'd have to keep the ball basically on the alley and get some significant pin count, and he'll win this. Here's his first shot, and he does. There's a strike, and that's it. So Bo Burton goes and high fives Dick Weber, and Dick Weber sits down so Bo can finish. The winner of the 1978 Ford Open is going to be our own Nelson Bo Burton Jr. So his second shot, and it's a strike too. He's at 204, and now to finish is his last, and he does. And he finishes with 3 in a row. So our winner of the 1978 Ford Open, Nelson Burton Jr. So congratulations. That would be Chris Schenkel sitting beside Bo with the trophy in his hands. I don't know if he's ever done that. But sensational Bo here. He wins it. 214 to 189. He will win the championship. So, if I remember right, the winner was Bo. He was first. Weber was 2. Tommy Hudson was 3. Wayne Webb was 4. And then Louis Moore was 5th. Those were your 5 finalists after the ladder today. So this has been the Pro Bowlers Tour 1978 Saturday afternoon edition, like it should be, as we play In the Pocket Bowling by Mark Miller. It's the PC version. But I want to thank everyone for being here. Again, thank you, Cutter Historical. And I guess Ben comes in. Thank you so much. You've been one of my livelier always people in. Jay Heyday came in, and everyone else. I thank you all. Please hit the like. Please subscribe on your way out the door. And again, this has been the Sports Time Machine for a presentation of the PBA here on the Sports Time Machine. So have a good day, folks. Have a great one. And we'll see you down the road, as David Demos would say. And we'll see maybe some more action later if I can